Well, let's continue this conversation with Senator Ted Budd of North Carolina. Senator, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lydia.
Senator, we see TDS being played out in this confirmation process. Many on the left and on the right, they're still in denial about Trump's landslide win and the mandate that he got from the American people that he intends to fulfill. Earlier today, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, he posted this on X. He wrote, Donald J. Trump just won a major electoral victory. His coattails turned a 49 to 51 Senate to a 53-47 Senate. He deserves a cabinet that is loyal to the agenda he was elected to implement. Senator, do you agree?
I do agree. I mean, America was unsafe and it's unaffordable, and we're going to fix that. We're going to live up to Donald Trump's promises, and he deserves a great cabinet. He knows what he's doing. He was elected to shake up Washington, D.C. People are tired of business as usual, and he's bringing in candidates that'll support his agenda, which reflects the values of the American people.
So will you be voting for Gates, and would you support Trump's decision to adjourn Congress if certain GOP senators continue to act as obstructionists?
Well, the guardrails here should really be President Trump's agenda, which the American people overwhelmingly support, popular votes plus electoral votes, and the Constitution. So Trump's agenda, Constitution should be the guardrails. It's going to go through, in his case in particular, it's going to go through judiciary first, and I look forward to having that before the whole floor.
Let's talk about what's going on in your home state of North Carolina. Thousands there, they're still suffering in the wake of Hurricane Helene, while FEMA, we know that they were spending billions of dollars on illegal aliens. Over the weekend, I spoke with a former FEMA supervisor, Marnie Washington. She was fired for getting caught for telling her employees to avoid homes with Trump signs. She told me, though, that she was just following orders. Take a look.
I think it's important that the American people know that I did not vote for Kamala Harris. And I certainly do not have any grievances with President Trump. So there is no political plight on my part other than following orders, which is keeping my team safe in the field. Everything I do is under orders and with approval. I even received text messages from my superiors telling me that I made the right decisions in the field.
And then this tracks with yesterday's hearing on Capitol Hill. Sir, what do you think about this, about what she said there, that this is systemic, it came from the top, and she was just following orders?
Well, first of all, we're going to hold them accountable, and that's the benefit of having a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate, is we get to control what hearings we have, and we're definitely going to bring this up in the House and the Senate. Look, this was a colossal event of avoidance, is what I think that was her quote in another clip, but it is absolutely inappropriate for people who are in need right now to be avoiding them because of a yard sign or because of a flag that supported President-elect Donald Trump. We've got to get people the need, and that's why people are so frustrated with the government and business as usual, and we've got to get back to fixing this and getting North Carolina back on its feet. We need a builder in the office, and in this case, a rebuilder, and that's exactly who Donald Trump is.
You know, the former FEMA director, during the hearing yesterday, she refused to even say the words American citizen during an exchange with New York Congressman Molinaro. Take a look at this, sir.
Do you think in responding to an emergency, the priority of government ought to be to ensure that American citizens are triaged and that the services of FEMA are focused on responding to them and their service programs first?
I absolutely believe that the services that FEMA provides should be supporting the people that have been impacted by disasters.
So she refused to say American citizen, that they should have priority over illegal aliens, because you see illegal aliens, they come to this country, everything is fast-tracked with them, right? FEMA's working with the NGOs and non-governmental organizations, these non-for-profits, so-called, and they got the hotel room stays, they got the meal cards, the debit cards, you name it, everything they could want, free medical care. They can get their private parts chopped off at the taxpayer dollar if they want to. And yet people, American citizens, are suffering after a devastating hurricane, and they have to jump through all of these hoops, all of these forms online for a measly $750. So how outraged are many of your constituents seeing that this play out? Do they feel like the government has abandoned them?
They do, and that's why they're so frustrated. When I'm all over Western North Carolina, I hear this repeatedly. There's 25 counties that were declared an emergency here. It was 100 total in North Carolina. And in almost every county that I visited, they said, please don't forget us. They feel that the Biden administration has forgotten them. They want to make sure that even though the crisis of the storm, the initial crisis, is behind us, that they are not being forgotten in this recovery period right now. This is going to take weeks, months, years to get back on their feet. And it's a lot different than coastal. I mean, it's very complex. There are mountain roads that aren't there, that are creeks that have shifted. And I hope you get a chance to visit. And if you haven't had a chance to volunteer yet, you and your great viewers out there, I hope they get a chance to come and work through a group like Samaritan's Purse to help North Carolina get back on its feet. But it's going to take years, and it's going to take a lot of support. That is why these people pay their hard-earned tax dollars, is to get support in a time of need, not for transgender surgeries or for supporting those who are here illegally, but for an emergency in a case like this, which is why I support this emergency relief package. And we need those dollars well spent by somebody who knows how to build and rebuild. And in this case, it's Donald J. Trump. And he's going to get Western North Carolina back on its feet.
I was a reporter in that area, Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, Asheville area for 5 years. I know the area very well. They're amazing people, and it breaks my heart to see the devastation there and that they're not getting the help they need. Senator Ted Budd, thank you so much, sir, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia.